Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, looked at your partner beside you, and felt a quiet frustration building inside, not from lack of love, but from something else? A part of you still wants connection, still desires intimacy, still remembers what it felt like to be fully alive as a man. But your body doesn't always follow. Your mind says yes, but down below, there's hesitation, weakness, silence. And that's not just heartbreaking, it's terrifying, because no man wants to feel himself fading away. But what if I told you that just by chewing one common spice for only 50 seconds, you could begin to wake your body up again? I'm Dr. Mohit Kara, a professor of urology and men's health expert with over 30 years of clinical experience helping men in their 60s, 70s, and beyond feel like themselves again, without pills, prescriptions, or side effects. Now, I know it sounds hard to believe. After all, if something that simple could make such a difference, wouldn't every doctor be shouting it from the rooftops? But the truth is, these natural remedies often get buried under pharmaceutical profits and outdated assumptions about aging. In this video, I'm going to show you how 5 powerful spices, sitting right in your kitchen, can help restore your blood flow, awaken your testosterone, and reignite your confidence. All with a ritual that takes less than a minute. And if you stay with me, I'll reveal a simple step-by-step protocol that's helped hundreds of my older male patients regain the erections and vitality they thought were gone forever. Let's get started. Before we dive in, if you're serious about reclaiming your vitality and want more real science-backed advice made specifically for men over 60, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a video that could change your life. And if you're ready to take back control, type 1 in the comments. If you're still on the fence, type 0. I want to know how I can better serve you. Let's begin with the first spice, and it might surprise you. It's probably sitting in your kitchen right now, looking innocent, even sweet. But this simple stick holds the key to unlocking better blood flow, stronger energy, and the return of something every man over 60 deserves: reliable, lasting erections. 1. Cinnamon, the blood flow igniter. Cinnamon. It's something most of us associate with warm memories. Apple pie, morning coffee, maybe the holidays with family. But very few men realize that this humble brown stick holds powerful secrets for revitalizing blood flow, regulating energy, and restoring the kind of sexual function they thought was gone for good. I remember the first time I recommended cinnamon to one of my patients. He was 68, retired, and had quietly admitted that intimacy with his wife had become rare, not because of a lack of love, but because he simply couldn't perform the way he used to. He had tried the blue pills, but they left him with headaches and pressure in his chest. He was scared, embarrassed, and losing confidence. So I introduced him to something different. I told him to chew a piece of high-quality Ceylon cinnamon bark for just 50 seconds, once a day, 30 minutes before any planned intimacy. He was skeptical, but he trusted me. After the first week, he told me he was waking up with morning erections again. By the second week, he had enough confidence to initiate intimacy without fear. And by the third week, his energy levels were up, his mood had improved, and he said something I'll never forget. "I feel like myself again." The science supports his experience. Cinnamon contains powerful compounds like cinnamaldehyde and procyanidins, which act as natural vasodilators. They help relax and widen blood vessels, making it easier for blood to flow, especially to the areas where men need it most. But it doesn't stop there. Cinnamon also improves insulin sensitivity, which is crucial for energy, weight control, and hormone balance. You see, many older men struggle with low testosterone and poor erections not because of a lack of desire, but because their cells have stopped responding properly to insulin. That's what we call insulin resistance, and it often sneaks in after 50. Cinnamon helps reverse that. The key, however, is using it the right way, not the powdered cinnamon from the baking aisle. You need Ceylon cinnamon bark, the real deal. Take a small piece, about the size of a matchstick, and chew it slowly for 50 seconds. Let the oils release in your mouth and absorb under your tongue. Don't rush. This is not just chewing, it's delivery, a natural medicine working its way through your system. Within days, many of my patients notice changes, not just in the bedroom, but throughout the day. more clarity, more drive, more confidence. It's the first step in waking up systems that have been asleep for too long. And if cinnamon is the spark, wait until you discover the spice that fuels the fire. Let's move on to the one I call nature's little green Viagra. 2. Cardamom, the nitric oxide surge. Cardamom is one of those spices you've probably seen 100 times but never paid much attention to. Small green pods tucked away in the back of your spice rack. But let me tell you something I've learned after 3 decades working with men's health. Sometimes, the smallest things can have the biggest impact. Cardamom may look delicate, but it packs a powerful punch when it comes to circulation, arousal, and even emotional connection. One of my patients, Frank, a 67-year-old retired mechanic from Ohio, came to me after years of avoiding intimacy. He didn't feel like himself anymore. He told me, "Doc, I just don't feel desire like I used to, and when I try, nothing happens." We talked about his medications, his diet, and his stress, but what stood out most was how disconnected he felt from his body and even from his wife. I suggested something simple. Every morning, crack open 2 pods of green cardamom, chew the seeds for 50 seconds, and take 5 slow, deep breaths afterward. It sounded strange to him, too easy maybe, but he agreed to try. 3 weeks later, he came back to my office beaming. Not only had his morning erections returned, but something even more meaningful had happened. He and his wife had reconnected, emotionally and physically. "It felt natural again," he said, "like I wasn't forcing anything. I felt alive." That's the power of cardamom. You see, cardamom seeds are rich in natural terpenes, compounds that stimulate nitric oxide production in the body. Nitric oxide is what tells your blood vessels to relax and expand. And as we age, our bodies make less and less of it, which is why so many older men experience weak or unreliable erections. Cardamom helps reverse that decline. It also helps repair the lining of your blood vessels, improving flexibility and responsiveness, 2 things every man needs in the bedroom and beyond. The method matters. Crack open the pod, remove the black seeds, chew them gently for 50 seconds, and follow with 5 deep nasal breaths. It may sound simple, but it activates your parasympathetic nervous system and helps deliver the active compounds deep into your bloodstream. Many men notice changes within 10 to 14 days, more spontaneous arousal, better endurance, and even stronger emotional presence during intimacy. It's not just about sex, it's about connection. Cardamom helps you reconnect with your body, your partner, and your identity as a man. And if you thought that was impressive, just wait until you hear about the next spice, one that doesn't just boost your blood flow, but actually wakes up your testosterone and reignites your drive from the inside out. Let's talk about a forgotten powerhouse that may have fueled your grandfather's vitality: cloves. 3. Cloves, the testosterone booster. I'll never forget the first time I looked into the research on cloves and male vitality. What I found honestly shocked me. This tiny, sharp-tasting spice, something most of us associate with ham, mulled wine, or the holidays, holds some of the most potent natural compounds for male sexual health I've ever seen. In fact, cloves have been used for centuries in traditional medicine to enhance stamina, energy, and virility. And now, modern science is finally catching up. One of my longtime patients, Michael, age 72, came to me frustrated and defeated. He said, "Dr. Kara, I'm not looking for a miracle. I just want to feel something again. I want to be close to my wife without worrying that I'll let her down." He'd tried testosterone gels, expensive supplements, even pumps, but nothing gave him lasting results. So I offered him something different. I told him about eugenol, the active compound in cloves, and how it works as a natural vasodilator and testosterone booster. He was skeptical, but agreed to give it a try. I instructed him to chew just 1 whole clove every evening, about 2 hours before bedtime, for 50 seconds. Within 5 days, he called my office, not with a complaint, but with excitement. "I feel like my body's coming back to life," he said, "and my wife noticed too." By week 3, he had stronger erections, a more responsive nervous system, and a level of physical sensitivity he hadn't felt in decades. Eugenol doesn't just improve blood flow, it actually increases sensitivity in the nerve endings, making physical touch feel more intense and meaningful. That's something most men don't talk about, but it matters. It also supports your body's own testosterone production. In one study, men who consumed cloves daily showed a 15 to 20% increase in testosterone levels, naturally, without injections or patches. When using cloves, it's important to start slow. They're strong. Place 1 clove between your molars, bite gently to release the oil, and chew slowly for 50 seconds. Let the warmth spread through your mouth under your tongue. That warming sensation is a sign it's working. Some men feel the effects in just a few days. Others take a little longer. But when it hits, it's powerful, not just physically, but emotionally. You begin to feel confident again, grounded, and present in your relationships. But cloves are only part of the story. If you really want to feel your blood rush, your skin warm, and your whole body surge with energy, you need to meet the next spice. It's fiery, ancient, and known as the masculine root. Let's talk about ginger. 4. Ginger, the circulation engine. There's something unforgettable about that first bite of fresh ginger, the sharp heat, the almost electric burn that rushes through your mouth and spreads down your chest. Most people think of ginger as just a cooking ingredient or maybe something to settle the stomach, but the truth is, this fiery root has been revered for centuries as one of the most powerful natural tools for male vitality. And when I say powerful, I mean that quite literally, because ginger doesn't just warm your body, it wakes it up from the inside out. I remember working with a patient named David, 66 years old, recently retired, and quietly struggling with fatigue, poor circulation, and almost no sex drive. He wasn't depressed exactly, but he told me he felt like the light inside was dimming. He had trouble concentrating, little motivation, and physically, nothing was happening. I introduced him to what I call the ginger ritual. Just 1 piece of fresh ginger, about the size of his thumbnail, chewed slowly for 50 seconds every evening, followed by some light movement, a few squats, a short walk, just enough to get the blood pumping. Within 3 days, he emailed me. "Dr. Kara, I feel like someone turned on the switch," he wrote. "I'm sweating more, thinking clearer, and even getting hard again in the morning. I didn't expect this from ginger." And that's the thing. Ginger is often underestimated, but inside that root are 2 key compounds, gingerol and shogol, that increase blood flow, stimulate metabolism, and even support your body's own testosterone production. What makes ginger special isn't just how fast it works, it's how deeply it affects the entire system. It heats the body, dilates blood vessels, and improves oxygen delivery. It's not a stimulant like caffeine, it's a circulation enhancer that gets your whole vascular system firing again. And when that happens, everything from energy to arousal improves naturally. The technique is important. Use fresh ginger only. Peel it, chew it slowly for 50 seconds, and let the juice absorb under your tongue for another 30 seconds. Yes, it'll burn. Yes, your eyes might water, but that's the sensation of life moving through your body again. And once that fire starts to rise, it becomes fuel for every part of who you are. But to complete the transformation, to go from reactivated to truly unstoppable, you'll need 1 more spice. It looks like a star, smells like licorice, and may just be the final missing piece to unlocking full, lasting sexual vitality. Let's talk about star anise. 5. Star anise, the master activator. There's something almost mystical about star anise. Its shape, elegant, symmetrical, like a star carved from dark wood, makes it look more like a decoration than medicine. But don't let the delicate appearance fool you. This spice holds some of the most powerful secrets nature has to offer for reigniting sexual energy, boosting nitric oxide, and restoring the kind of deep masculine vitality that most men over 60 believe they've lost forever. One of my patients, Richard, was 68 when he came to me. He had tried everything: testosterone therapy, medications, even surgical options. Nothing gave him lasting results. I could see it in his eyes. He was tired of feeling like less of a man, tired of feeling invisible. So I told him about star anise. He raised an eyebrow and asked, "You really think that little spice can do something all those pills couldn't?" I smiled and told him, "Let's just say it works in ways pharmaceuticals can't." Star anise contains a compound called shikimic acid, which is used in medicine for all sorts of things. But what interests me most is how it boosts your body's natural production of nitric oxide. This is the master signal that tells your blood vessels to relax and expand. But star anise doesn't just work on circulation. It seems to activate an entire hormonal symphony. Libido, energy, desire, sensitivity, and stamina, all of it starts to come back online when star anise is used consistently. I told Richard to chew one full pod about 30 minutes before any planned intimacy. Let it soften in the mouth for a few seconds, then chew slowly for 50 seconds, and follow with a glass of room temperature water to help the compound circulate. After 3 weeks, he sat in my office, his voice full of life again, and said, "I didn't think this part of me would ever come back, but it did, and it feels better than it did at 40. There's also something else I've noticed with this spice. A cumulative effect. The longer men use it, the stronger the results become. It builds over time, and with it comes confidence, spontaneous arousal, and the kind of lasting performance that makes you feel young again, not just physically, but emotionally too. Now that you've discovered all 5 spices and how they work, you're probably wondering how to put them together into one clear, simple daily routine. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through the exact step-by-step protocol that's helped hundreds of my patients transform their energy, their confidence, and their sex life, often in just a matter of days. Conclusion: your path back to vitality. If you've made it this far, then you already understand something that too many men never get the chance to realize. Your vitality isn't gone, it's just been sleeping. And now you have the tools to wake it up. 5 simple spices. 5 steps toward reclaiming your strength, your energy, and yes, your masculinity. Let's recap what we've covered, not as facts on a page, but as building blocks for something far more personal. Cinnamon, your starting point. It opens up your circulation and balances your blood sugar, giving your body the power and control it needs to perform again. Then cardamom, the silent powerhouse, boosting nitric oxide and healing your blood vessels from the inside out. Cloves come next, reigniting testosterone and sensitivity. 2 things most men don't even realize are connected. Ginger follows, and with it comes heat, movement, blood flow, and a deep internal activation that makes everything feel sharper and more alive. And finally, star anise, the master switch that not only lifts your desire, but keeps you balanced, confident, and in tune with who you are as a man. Each of these spices alone can make a difference. But when used together, in the right sequence and timing, they form a powerful, natural protocol that works with your body, not against it. I've seen this change lives. I've watched men in their late 60s and 70s come back to life, not just in the bedroom, but in their relationships, their energy, even the way they walk into a room. I've had men tear up in my office, not because they were embarrassed, but because for the first time in years, they felt whole again. I want the same for you. Not just better performance, but better mornings, better sleep, better connection with the people you love. This isn't about chasing youth. It's about claiming the quality of life you still deserve. It's about standing tall again. Looking your partner in the eye and knowing you've still got it. That spark is still there. The fire never left. It just needed a little fuel. So here's what I'll leave you with. Start small. Pick one spice. Try it today. Feel what happens. Then build from there. The 50-second ritual isn't just a trick. It's a message to your body. I'm ready to come back. And believe me, once you start to feel that change, you won't want to go back to the man you were. Because the man you can become, the man you still are, is stronger than ever.